Hey guys, this is Kathy from House of TOEFL, and today I have big news. And this big news is that there's going to be a new form of TOEFL test. This test is called TOEFL Essentials. Now, I only found out about this last week, so I waited a bit to learn more about it before I made this video. Now that I know a little more about it, I can talk to you guys about it. However, I still don't know everything, because it's so new that there are not even any sample tests out yet. According to the ETS, they're going to release 3 sample tests within the next few months, but they are not available yet. So I'm going to be reading a little from my notes because, as I said, this is so new that I don't know everything about it yet. So there's big differences between the regular TOEFL IBT and this test. Probably the biggest is that this one is an hour and a half and you take it at home. Furthermore, it's only between $100 and $120. So it's half the price of the regular TOEFL test. Now, also, this is a big difference. There's going to be 50% academic content in this new test and 50% non-academic content. So what does non-academic mean? Well, I can't be sure, but I'm guessing it will probably require you to read newspaper articles or read letters or listen to phone calls between 2 people. I'm guessing that based on the fact the IELTS does that, so I think it stands to reason this new TOEFL might do this as well. The new TOEFL is still the 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. They say that it is adaptive, which means it might get a little harder if you're a high-level student and they start to recognize that, or it might get easier if you're a little bit of a lower-level student. How they're going to adjust it as you're taking the test, I don't know. This is all really new. I do plan to take it as soon as it's out. It's graded by both humans and artificial intelligence, just like the real TOEFL. The registration begins in May, but you can't take it till August. So if you're in a situation in which you need to get that score before August, then forget this video, scrub it from your memory, because it doesn't apply to you. So let's see. It's going to be, as I said, shorter and faster. Now, I think that means that, you know how in the reading, the questions are getting pretty long? I think the reading and the listening will have shorter questions that are quicker to answer. Not necessarily easy, but maybe less wordy. And I think that the texts you read will also be quite a bit shorter as well. You can only take this at home. It will not be offered in a test center, just like the at-home IBT is now. You will be watched by a proctor, you'll have to get a whiteboard, and all those other rules that apply when you've taken the test at home if you've done that. Now, this is interesting. You're going to have a 5-minute personal statement that you're going to make during this test that is not scored. So that leads me to a very important point. It's my opinion that this is solely going to be used for college admissions. And I'm so sorry to my pharmacists and my nurses and everyone who needs a score for a board. I really don't think this is going to apply to you guys. And one of the biggest reasons is that it's only taken at home. And if you're a pharmacist, you already know you can't take it at home. But also that personal statement. Now, why do I think that? Well, it's because I think they're going to, possibly universities are going to use this as part of their admission standard. Because, as you well know, a lot of times university admissions require you to go to an interview. So it's possible they're using this personal statement to take the place of that interview, or at least use it to supplement, to add to the actual in-person interview, so they can make some decisions based on this 5-minute personal statement you make. So this is the reason why I think this is really only going to apply to potential university students. And I could be wrong, but I have a feeling it's not going to apply to pharmacists. And especially since if you're a pharmacist, you know you can't take the at-home anyway. And this is exclusively at home. It's not in test centers. So I can't imagine that the pharmacy board would accept this. So it's good news if you're going to use it for college. This is great news. Much cheaper. You take it at home. It's quicker. It's done in an hour and a half. It's only $100 to $120. That's all really good news. I don't think there's any news for the pharmacists, unfortunately. I wish there were. So this information I actually got from the ETS website and from another article. So I'm going to actually link them below in the description to this video. Now, one question might be, well, why is the ETS doing this? Well, here's where I'm going to be really honest with you guys. Testing international students is a business. There's big money in it. And you may have heard of Duolingo, and I'm sure you've heard of the IELTS. So what I'm saying is the ETS that makes the TOEFL, they've got some competition now. The Duolingo test is really cheap and it's really comfortable for students, and more universities are accepting it. So of course the TOEFL has to pivot and they have to offer something similar to Duolingo so they can keep their market share. Although they haven't released the data, I did read that fewer students took the TOEFL in 2020 than 2019. So I think they're trying to catch up to Duolingo and get back some of the competition they've lost. I could be wrong, but that's the article I've been reading, and some of the things online are saying that. And even the ETS itself has published some criticism of Duolingo on their website that you can look up. So it seems to me this is a competition. Just like Coke has to compete with Pepsi, just like McDonald's has to compete with Burger King, the ETS now has to compete with Duolingo. The ETS was the only game in town for a long time, but now international student testing is big business. So that's what I think this is, the reason for this is. Okay, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Josh McPherson, who made a video a few days ago. And he gave me some of this information as well. For my other sources of information, I'm going to link the articles down in the description. So thank you for staying with me for this video. And as always, good luck with your test, and feel free to reach out and contact me and hit that like, comment, and subscribe to see more videos from me in the future. Thank you so much. And as always, whether you're taking the TOEFL Essentials or the TOEFL IBT, good luck with your test. I'm Kathy from House of TOEFL.